About to be in the starters' hands. It is get tense time for these MX1 riders as they scan their attention down to the gates. Drop of the gate, what a jump from it looked to be. Oh, Tantanti in the middle of the pack there. How did he keep it on two wheels? Webster through the inside with a clear whole shot.
Webster and also the 111 of Dean Ferris. Can he get up there and rebound in this one? Beaton's there. Is that Wilson? Yes, Wilson is there as well. Remember how fast we saw Crawford at the tail end of that. He's in 6th. So we are set up for an absolute ripper in this last one. There goes Tanti, well and truly back 18.
Dean Ferris has gone down. I was just about to say, watch for an angry Dean Ferris as he tries to respond after being in such a favourable position in that first moto. Kyle Webster with a brilliant hole shot there.
Webster looking good up the front. Wilson top there in third. Here is the Honda replay. Watch for the Kawasaki up at the top of screen. Tucks the front wheel. He really dove it deep into that corner. There's a lot of work ahead of him, but we talk about an angry Dean Ferris. I reckon we're going to see some good passes coming out of him. He should move up through the list pretty quick.
He's going to be kicking himself from that one. He broke all of his own rules. No major mistakes in the first lap or two, because you don't just drop 1 or 2 positions. You drop 10 or 15.
Wow, how about this? Brad West putting on a charge as well. The number 8 of Watson. They are back in 10th place.
So you just missed that while you're looking at the timing and scoring, Danny. But another 2 consecutive big mistakes from Dean Ferris. He's got the red mist well and truly in the goggles.
As too does the number 9, who put himself in a terrible position out of turn number 1. That is of Tanti. There is Crawford. He currently sits in 5th place. Where's Tanti? He's moved up some places already. He sits in behind the number 79 of Jacob Sweet. Liam Jackson is there in amongst the mix as well.
Great start for Jacob Sweet there to be well up inside the top 10. He's essentially a state-level privateer rider that's giving Nationals a little bit of a nudge, and we spoke about him after having such a good start also at Canberra. So he's having a very impressive season. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, plenty more action. Welcome back to the Penrite Pro MX Championship presented by AMX Superstores. What a day we are having so far. Another impressive ride for Liam Jackson, the number 25 machine. Craig Dack we see on the right of the screen at the moment as his rider, the number 2 rider on the team. Aaron Tanti just goes off the side of the track, doesn't lose a position. It's tense times for Craig Dack at the moment as we bring you up to speed with how the championship points would look if positions stayed the same as they are at the moment. Webster 136, Jed Beaton 142.
Ferris to the inside of his teammate, picks up another spot, puts him into 10th place. So he is moving forward at a rapid rate as well. Looks like he has smoothened himself out after those couple of early mistakes that we saw. Oh, look at the lead. It's just at the top of the screen, and they are on each other. Webster, Beaton. The battle is about to erupt.
Battle of the Kawasaki's here. It's West versus Ferris, but now we get to the head of the pack, and Jed Beaton has clawed his way ever so slightly to the race we came to see. Worth the price of admission right here. Kyle Webster on board the Attards HRC Honda CRF 450R, and of course Jed Beaton on the Monster Energy CDR Yamaha 450. Well, that line of Jed Beaton's at the top of the elevated section there, I think was very nice. He's headed to the outside, swooped in, carried a little bit more speed, but it looked a little bit smoother as well.
Beautiful pickup from Webster there. Got on the gas nice and early. But Beaton, how about the run into the corner almost side by side? There's a chance we've got a pass here. If he can push through, he does. Webster, too nice.
Well, he had had to leave a gap there to try to come down. It was either that or come together, because I think, do you believe that Webster's starting to learn from the last couple of passes that have made that race 1 is the second time that Beaton has gotten aggressive with him so far this year. Brett Metcalf. Brett, welcome. Tell us what you're seeing out there on the track. The track is so rough, so brutal. We spoke to you earlier on. How has it developed now?
Yo, that first moto, we got to see the track completely re-ripped. It was very smooth. I talked to a lot of the riders. They were a little bit disappointed how smooth the track was. Now, me and you, Hogs, Hammy, we love the track when it's a bit smoother at our older age, but these young guys, they want it rough, they want it nasty. And this Moto 2 is definitely everything that they're asking for right now. Jed Beaton taking the lead. And what I saw on that pass where he passed Webster, he's so fast under brakes. Jed Beaton on that Yamaha, he's able to come up and really attack the insides of the corners and carry a lot of speed on that front end of the Yamaha, where Webster's just a little bit, can't quite follow that kind of speed. But Wilson Todd in third, you cannot count him out on this moto even. I got to give a major shout out to my man Regan Duff. Very sweet Yamaha, up in top 5 right now. This is his best moto. And what about Nathan Crawford on the Privateer Honda? He came in here with a lot to prove, and I'm really impressed what I'm seeing out of him. But to your point, this track, a lot of acceleration chop. The guys are going to have to be really careful what the line selection that they have, because the track's extremely rough right now.
Yeah, he loves this stuff. It's really been the first time that we've got to watch him much at all today. We haven't seen too much of him on screen, but just watching him coming into that corner there, it looked to me as if that back end looked really slow. What I mean by that is the rebound. It looked like it was sucking down and not coming back. And when you get the smaller bumps on a track like this, you need to keep that back end moving, because if it packs down, you all of a sudden get such a dead feel in the rear end. And I wonder if that's what he's suffering with today, because he just doesn't look like himself that we've seen the last couple of rounds.
Crawford there in third place. Bit of a quiet ride. I was just looking at those scoring on the left. Todd Tanti has closed it down to 1.7 seconds, so he continues to move forward. But this is a good ride for the number 3 machine. We saw exceptional speed on that final lap of Moto number 1. Didn't get a great start at all, Moto number 1. Ferris, 6th place.
Not bad for Dean Ferris, considering that mishap that he will be kicking himself about on lap number 1.
I would love to have seen what we could have got out of Ferris here today if he got that result in Moto number 1, where that would have taken him. It's almost, without a mistake, it's almost a given that we'll see Beaton continue to run with this to the inside. Tanti, where does he find this traction? We've seen it so much today, where he's just thrown the bike to an inside where there's no lines, and still somehow he drives out of it.
Love to see that creativity from him. Love to see the battle of these two boys that have seen each other so many times on the racetrack. Here we see Kyle Webster trying to make his way past Seth Jackson, a lapped rider, coming ever so close there.
Very close. They're the moments as a rider you take a deep breath in, going, uh-oh, please don't, please don't. Just like that one too. Easily come undone with a mistake from that other rider.
And just from being in the wrong place at the wrong time, it's stretched out now to 7 seconds, and that's where you can almost see the frustration about to explode in the helmet of Kyle Webster when he is doing everything he can. He hasn't put a foot wrong. He has just come across a very hard-charging Jed Beaton that wanted to minimise the damage of what Gillmar could have thrown out to him. 2 minutes to go on the clock, plus 1 lap. Jed Beaton continues to lead. It's out to 11.5 seconds now over Kyle Webster. Nathan Crawford continues to hold down 3rd place. However, that last time around, Crawford with a 2:02, and Wilson Todd was a 1:59, basically matching the lap time of Jed Beaton.
That's quick, and what is that, 4 seconds? Oh, it's a big ask, but a couple of left riders thrown into that. Maybe we start to see a little bit closer between Crawford, Todd, Tanti. Imagine that. If we got that on the final lap, how exciting that would be.
That would be incredible. But at the moment, it really is a case of just hitting your lines, making sure you don't make any major mistakes. And I dare say, it doesn't matter who you are. Jed Beaton looking like he's almost in a league of his own at the moment, and yet we saw that uncharacteristic mistake from him in Moto number 1, washing out that front wheel. So Gillmar has thrown everything at these riders today. So even though we've only got 1 minute to go plus a lap, you can't afford to settle and get too comfortable here.
No, this place will reach up and grab you very quickly if you take your mind off the job at hand. You can see with those ruts on the up face of that double, even this one, this is a pro level rider that's opting not to jump the double simply because of how difficult it is and the kickers that are forming up inside it.
The track is brutal out there at the moment. Looking very good, super comfortable. Fitness not an issue to be still charging this hard with 20 seconds to go before our time ticks down to 0. Great effort.
Right-hander for the number 3 of Nathan Crawford, managing to hold down that gap over Wilson Todd. So it doesn't look like that one's going to play out as we lead into this final lap. And we will receive the last lap board this next time around. As we move back to the 34 machine of Rogers and Watson. This battle's been going on for quite some laps now, in amongst Todd Waters as well being there. As Watson doubles to the outside, trying to find some real estate that is maybe a bit smoother. See, leaning off the side there, just trying to line up those ruts on the takeoff. You get a little bit sideways in that and it could end disastrous.
And that's the thing, it doesn't matter how far you go searching to the left, to the right, trying to find a little bit of smooth track out there. It's almost impossible to find a good line up that takeoff ramp. Zach Watson there, the number 8 machine, inside the top 10, but he would like to sneak up to 9th place, currently held by Levi Rogers. On board the privateer, Yamaha doing a good job out there. These riders must be feeling the pinch at the moment. Toughest part of the race. As our race leader, Jed Beaton, has already crossed the finish line to receive the final lap board. Stretched out to 14-second gap. What a dominant ride this has been for Jed Beaton.
So good. So strong, and this is why he leads the championship at the moment. He knows he is the main player in this one at the moment and truly believes that everyone has to go through him if they want to have a shot at this. That first moto when we saw the probably unintentional aggressive move, yes, it was forceful, unintentional that they came together, but he was certain that he was going to make that pass right there and then. And then, unfortunately, of course, the mistake, beautiful pop up over the top.
Nice.
And that's the thing, he is so in tune with the bike, with the track, the way he's riding around here at the moment. It is going to take an exceptional effort for any of these guys to dethrone this guy at the moment.
Impressive ride. Almost a case of what could have been for Kyle Webster, but nonetheless, still a fantastic job going 1-2. But when it's all said and done, he went 4 wins from 4 starts in the first 4 motos of the championship. And he comes out with a 2nd and a 1st place and takes the win here. Impressive ride. Jed Beaton on board the CDR Monster Energy Yamaha in 2nd place, coming through our original race leader, number 1 on the Honda machine. He'll be a little disappointed with that, but still, he has minimized the damage of what could have been 6 wins from 2 starts.
And we now look at the official results for the Kawasaki MX1 Moto number 2 here at Gillmar. Jed Beaton, of course, your winner in this one in front of Kyle Webster. Nathan Crawford, Wilson Todd holds on for 4th, and that will land him on the podium. Aaron Tanti, Dean Ferris, unfortunate for him, crash early on. Regan Duffy, Todd Waters, Levi Rogers, and Zach Watson are your 10.
Liam Jackson in 11th, Luke Zielinski, Jacob Sweet, Brad West, Sigurd Ward rounding out the top 15. Rosenditch, Fitzpatrick, Kenny Olone, and Jason West.
The rest of the field close out their day here in Gillmar. It's been a sensational day of racing, and this one, the MX1 class, has delivered some craziness throughout